Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be painting these cute little bumblebees. So I've been looking forward to doing this sketch, I've been looking forward to doing this painting since I did the sketch. There we go, that makes more sense. I've been really looking forward to doing this one and I finally got round to it. So I'm going to be using Phoenix watercolours and Winsor & Newton Cotton set, which is obviously just my own little put together one, but I'm going to use this one probably for the honey beige, quinacridone gold, and I want to use the bigger, you can't see it because it's, there we go, I want to use that for some of the pinks. So that is my plan. Again, I don't know if you can hear it, I did do a video yesterday, wasn't uploaded yesterday, but I recorded a video yesterday and you couldn't hear the fan too much. I can hear it really loud, but on the recording it wasn't too bad. So I'm going to start by wetting the entire paper. So I put masking fluid on the bees where the yellow on the bee will be, because obviously when I do the black part it's dark enough to cover whatever background colour I put down, which I have a plan. Okay, also this bit of tape here, you can see there's a bit of like grey stuff. It's because it was the very last dregs of that roll of tape. Okay, so I'm going to get the honey beige, to try and, oh okay, actually that's a bit light. I want it light, but a bit dark, so I'm going to get some of the honey beige, a little bit of the gold, a bit more of the beige, oops, grey gold. And that's pretty much all I wanted that for. So I'm going to grab, sorry, it's a bit difficult with so many watercolours out. I'm going to grab this one, which is Peppermint Rose. Okay, so obviously this seems messy and I want it to be, so I'm just going to get more of the Peppermint Rose and I'm just going to do some of the dots a bit more purposefully. Okay, now I'm going to put this one away because I don't think I'll need it until a bit later, but I'm going to put it over here so it's in reach. This colour here is sap green, bit of indigo, and there was a bit of gamboge when I last used it. Okay, just up here, over here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get my Peppermint Rose again, and I'm just trying to loosely give an indication of flowers. Oops. Very loose, and that's the point. I don't have to go too into detail, just a bit of a darker green with indigo, just doing sweeping motions to maybe indicate couple of leaves. I'm going to lighten this one up because I actually liked that corner when it was a bit more sap green. So put that back in. So I have lost quite a lot of the yellow that I originally put in, to the point where I don't really think it was even necessary, but that's kind of what happens when you just sort of go with the flow. Things can change. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and hopefully it'll look a lot more blurred once it's dried. So be a very loose blur flower in the background, but the bees are the main focus. So see you when it's dry. So we're going to just add another layer of indigo just to this green that I've already got on my palette. It's so warm that it dries really quickly, which is great in between layers for someone who's impatient like me. Okay, so we're going to just do so do I... Oops. Maybe if I just kind of... Oh, I'm not sure that helped. So there, my leaves, but I'm just going to dry this off my brush off so it's damp, and just so they don't kind of stand out too much. I still want them to be a little bit, what's the word, kind of still want them to be hazy and blurry, so I still want them to look like they're coming from the flower, but they're not the main focus. So I'm just going to gently persuade them to lighten up. It kind of works. Okay. Adding some splatter. It's very abstract and fun. At least for me. I do like to play around with splatter, even though my desk does need cleaning every time that I do it. Okay, so I'm trying to figure something out. I have been using a lot of gold metallic, sorry, that was my chair creaking. I used a lot of gold metallics recently, but I also really find these pretty, but I don't think any of the colours would go with this particular painting, because I always in my head associate bees with a golden colour, but like this one here is a rose gold. Let me show you. Hang on. Oh, that didn't sound good. It was just sellotape, don't worry. Like this one, there is a little bit of gold in it. But it's also very pink. But I do have pink And it might just be something different for me to use instead of always using gold. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's do it before I change my mind and I still gravitate back to using gold. Okay, that's really pretty. So we're going to wait for this to dry again before we start working on the bees, because I think the background of the painting is probably where I should leave it. Okay, I think this is definitely dry and we're ready to rub off the masking fluid. Okay, so I'm actually going to get a really small brush and I'm going to, sorry you can't see, I was just adding water. Oh wait, no, hang on. I was just adding water just so this is wet. So then, oh, I'm going to just go ahead and start working on the bee. Just like that. Oops. Got a bit of a blob. A blob going there. Okay, let's just wipe a little bit of this off for a second. Okay, so now I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to take this back. So I use indigo. I use indigo and Van Dyke Brown to make a grey or a black. So I'm just going to grab some indigo. Okay, a bit more Van Dyke Brown. Okay. Sorry, I know you couldn't see what I was doing, but off the screen I was just using the same notebook that I showed earlier to show the sparkly watercolour to make sure I had a dark enough black or grey. Okay, so using the same paintbrush, I'm going to do the black parts of the bee. I'm also going to do little, kind of doing little dots as well, trying to make it fluffy. And I'm not too worried if it mixes a little bit in with the yellow, as long as it doesn't completely cover it, I don't mind. So I know I'm not saying much here. Okay. And then just do kind of just a black semicircle. without getting too many details, just for the face. Oh, now I'm not going to do this so you can see. I'm probably better off doing it with this one. Oh dear. Whoops. I had too much too much paint to get a... Oh dear, it's getting worse. It's alright, it's still fixable. I'm trying to do it so I can use the tip. Let's hopefully this one turns out a bit better. There we go, that's much thinner. I don't know what happened when I tried to do that one. There we go, that works a lot better. So, I'm just going to grab my quinacridone gold again, just to put a little bit of that gold back in here. Like that. And now we're back to letting it dry. Now I'm going to use my Posca pen to do the wings. I'm just going to use my finger to smudge them. Because normally what I would do if I hadn't done the background first, I would have I would have taken my brush, put it in my let me start again. If I was doing this with the watercolour, I would have got a wet brush and then used this grey and then swooped it so that grey and a bit of this black and the yellow went into the wings because of the water. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. But because I did a background, I'm basically just using an acrylic pen to put the wings in. And because when you smudge it with your fingers, it no longer looks as bright, it comes across transparent, which is good for the wings. Now the reason I did that is because obviously I'm trying to do little details, so normally their eyes would be here, but let's see. So I do have my Uniball pen. No, I didn't think so. It doesn't show up, it just sort of blends into the black watercolour. So if we just sort of put this back in, I'll just sort of dot it so it's more of a grey area, so you can kind of get the idea of eyes. I don't know how well that worked. And just my smaller gel pen, maybe just to we go. Sorry, I went quiet again. I'm just using a gel pen, using the same technique that I basically do with the Posca pen to get the fluffy white bit at the end of the bumblebee. Where I come from, those bits on the buff tail bumblebee are either orange, red, or kind of like white. The red and orange are kind of like mixed together. Okay, so ooh. Do small splattering details. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to overwhelm it, because I think it's kind of cute. They're kind of adorable right now. Okay, so these are looking really cute. I like how they've turned out. So it's time to remove the tape. Ooh. So here are the finished bees. Got a bit of sparkle from the metallic. Oh, sorry, from the metallic. Oh, bit of leftover masking fluid was stuck on the paper. See if I can give a bit of a close up. Oh dear. Okay, I really like how that turned out. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to leave me a comment and subscribe for more painting videos like this. Bye! That's really cute.